What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Anime Devil Hunter, and today I will be explaining the backstory as well as the philosophy of the vice captain of the Black Bulls, Nacht Faust. Not as easily a fan favorite, he is one of my favorite characters in the entire series. His backstory is so damn sad it actually made me shed a tear. It is by far the best backstory in all of Black Clover in my opinion. Moving on, we are about to jump straight into the video, but before we do, if you are new to Anime Devil Hunter, welcome. Here on this channel we plan on covering all sorts of awesome Black Clover content, weekly reviews, character backstories, and ability explained. So definitely subscribe and join the channel. Drop a like if you end up enjoying the video, and comment down below for more awesome Black Clover content. With that being said, let us begin. So surprisingly, Nacht comes off as a gentleman, but he was not always like that. At a point of his life, he actually despised living like that and was an S-tier delinquent. Nacht is from the House of Faust, a noble family. Nacht grew up in a Faust household with both his parents and his younger twin brother Morgan. Morgan was a gentleman, he was loved by many and even joined the Magic Knights and saved many people. Nacht on the other hand was a bad delinquent that many people despised, and he often used his magic for his own selfish needs. One day Morgan asked Nacht why won't he join the Magic Knights. With his magic he could save a lot of people. Nacht told him to not be an idiot, there is no fun in that. At the same time, Yami arrives. Nacht says out loud, "There goes another weirdo," and that it's crazy that a guy like Yami joined the Magic Knights. Yami comments on how it's a bit embarrassing Nacht is still in that bad boy phase. The two then go back and forth, and the conversation ends with Yami saying to Nacht, "Don't go too crazy to the point where they have to haul you in." Nacht says right back at him. During the first time reading this backstory, I found it really cool to see a young Nacht interacting with a young Yami and them just having fun. Moving on, we then come to find out that Nacht was the kind of person who didn't want to force himself into doing things just for the sake of it being righteous. Nacht only wanted to do things he found fun, and for as far as he could remember, he did nothing but bad stuff his whole life. On the other hand, he remembers his brother Morgan was a polar opposite. He loved everyone and everyone loved him, and his brother Morgan was so kind he sacrificed himself for a stranger, and in a way it kinda went with his magic attribute, light magic, as he was the life of many others. Moving on, although Nacht and Morgan looked alike, you find it very hard to believe they were related. Nacht goes on to add everyone adored Morgan and Nacht felt neglected, and so Nacht became jealous, then decided to head down the route of becoming a delinquent. Around the same time when Nacht first got his grimoire, he heard rumors about a foreigner who used dark magic, and out of curiosity he went to see him. This was Yami. And because Yami and Nacht were not only similar when it came to magic, but personality as well, they automatically clicked and the two of them began running wild, causing trouble and whatnot and just having fun. A year later, both Morgan and Yami wound up in the same brigade, the Grey Deer. Nacht thought that there was no way a guy like Yami could make it as a knight, but Morgan could get along with anyone, and because of that, him and Yami were able to become good friends. And because of Morgan, it might have been why Yami was able to feel at home in the brigade and not revert back to his bad ways or attempt to leave. As time went on, Morgan continued to tell Nacht both he and Yami were alike, that he should join the Magic Knights because Nacht had the greatest talent for magic, which really annoyed Nacht. A few years later down the line, when Nacht turned 18, his parents summoned him and told him he'll be the one to inherit the House of Faust. Originally, Nacht thought he was in for a lecture, but it was actually the opposite. They then took Nacht into the Dark Garden, aka their secret lair, and then revealed to Nacht as a family they have devoted themselves to the study of devils for generations, and Nacht has actually inherited that magic and spirit. At that moment, Nacht thought to himself, faced with the hideous, beautiful, unknown temptation, I trembled. My heart grew restless and I felt unfathomable. Excitement, the malice in me was overjoyed. He then adds, in the Faust family, I was the one who really fit, while Morgan was the black sheep. I believe it's during this moment Nacht finally felt accepted, like he actually belonged to the family, considering for the longest everyone believed Nacht was the black sheep of the family, but rightfully so, considering Nacht wanted to be a menace to society when he grew up. Nacht then goes on to explain, in the Magic Knights, Morgan and Yami became an unstoppable duo of light and dark, while he started getting deep into the study of devils, and showed some talent for it. Time passes and we see Nacht being celebrated as some ritual his family was having. His father says to him to think you contract with 4 devils so quickly and master their power so well. You are a genius, Nacht. You might be able to contract with this devil as well. As we see his dad hand him a bracelet. His father explains to him the underworld is ruled by 3 devils: gravity, time, and space. One of the devils who supports them is the supreme devil, Lucifugus, and Nacht records that it's a supreme devil. This surprisingly piques Nacht's interest. In the middle of this, Morgan comes busting through the door telling Nacht to not do it, and of course everyone is shocked to see Morgan. Morgan then says to his parents forbidden magic is a crime, and as a magic knight he can't overlook this. He then asks, besides more than anything it's dangerous, any more would be, and before he finishes his sentence, Nacht says dangerous. That's what's good about it, as Nacht puts on the dark bracelet to let him contract with Lucifugus. He says to Morgan, "A supreme devil, I like the sound of that. Life should really be this much of a rush." At the same time, Morgan can't believe Nacht just put on the bracelet. Nacht thinks to himself, "You and I are different." We then turn to Nacht, who says out loud, "Here and now, I'll surpass my limits. Summon." We then see Lucifugus appear right in front of Nacht, and he is trembling. He can't believe Lucifugus is this powerful. Lucifugus then starts to go nuts and starts killing Nacht's parents and his followers. Nacht was so shook his body couldn't even move. He then realizes Morgan was right. The Supreme Devil was something they should have never messed with to begin with. At the same time this is happening, Morgan rushes to Nacht and attempts to destroy the dark bracelet. Nacht notices that Morgan is trying to cancel the ritual, but he's very concerned about the repercussions from a third party intervening. Morgan stops the ritual, but unfortunately he suffers a huge price. By intervening, he loses his life. We turn to Morgan, who's being held by Nacht on the verge of death. He says to Nacht, "I knew my family was working with forbidden magic, but I didn't report it to the Magic Knights. I guess this is what I get." At the same time, Nacht is asking him why did he do it. Morgan then tells Nacht his dream was to stand beside him and protect the kingdom as Magic Knights of Shadow and Light. As we see Morgan fade away. Although we were only introduced to Morgan for a few chapters, I really liked him a lot. Morgan is a true embodiment of a Magic Knight. Sad to see him go. Nacht then attempts to call out to Morgan, but slowly comes to realize he's dead. Nacht thinks to himself, the very picture of a good guy. Straightforward, so dazzling, I couldn't even look at you. That was what you were like, and I really loved you. Even if I couldn't shine, I wanted you to do it. If I was beside you, I felt it'll defile your light. And before Nacht finishes this, he immediately starts screaming. I swear this scene absolutely broke my heart. Nacht never really wanted to be a delinquent. That was all a mere act. He just actually wanted to be like Morgan, but he felt like Morgan was so great, he shouldn't even be around him. Man, I'm shedding tears writing this because this is so sad, man. Tabata went all out for Nacht's backstory. Nacht then starts screaming, I'm begging you, save my brother, as he thinks I'm the one who should die. Nacht then screams he hasn't done anything wrong. God, please. At the same time this is happening, Nacht thinks, don't go spotting what's ever convenient for you at the time. You did whatever you wanted, and now when you're in trouble, you count on the gods. Don't give me that, you idiot. Who in their right mind would save you? I think this moment felt so real because I think this moment was so great because not only did it feel so real, but it was a turning point for Nacht's character, coming to realize you can't just go around being a bad person doing messed up shit and expecting God to save you once you manage to place yourself too deep into the rabbit hole. And back to this scene, it felt so real as like human beings sometimes like we do messed up shit, and then one day when we end up in a really bad situation to the point the only person we feel like could help us is God. But at the same time, we were the same reason that got us into the predicament. We were also the ones who did the mess up shit without regarding the fact that, you know, you'll someday have to pay for that. Anyways, following Morgan's death, one day Yami went to visit Morgan's grave and saw Nacht there. It was here when Yami told Nacht someday he wants to start his own brigade for the ones destiny didn't choose, the ones God chained down, the ones lost. The lost ones, the ones burdened with crimes, a brigade where people who haven't been able to wield the power God can rampage around. As Yami leaves, he tells Nacht him a captain sounds ridiculous, but if he can make it happen, Nacht's going to be the vice captain, and then they'll both get laughed at together. And by the way, this is actually one of my favorite moments in Black Clover. I don't know, man, this scene was just awesome. I really loved it. But yeah, moving on, following this, Nacht gets rid of the bad boy act and gets himself together. As time passes, Yami gathers more members of the Black Bulls, but because Yami and the Black Bulls are what Nacht used to be, he hates them all, which also means Nacht hates himself. At some point, Nacht is sent on a mission to secretly infiltrate the Spade Kingdom. He returns after Yami gets captured, trains Asta, and leads the raid on the Spade Kingdom. During the raid on the Spade Kingdom, Nacht ends up finding Lilith in the mine, and it's during that battle we actually get Nacht's backstory. After thinking of what happened to Morgan, Nacht thinks to himself, no matter how I pay for my sins, I can't forgive myself. I can't let myself be praised or stand in the spotlight, and I can't and must not be like Morgan. I'll destroy evil with evil from the shadows until I die. As this happened, Nacht activates his strongest devil union, Gallus X Felix, and attempts to lock himself in a room with Lilith in the mine, engaging in a game of tag deathmatch. Does that sound right? Nacht's original plan was to actually die defeating Lilith in the mine, but unfortunately, Lilith and the Mai weren't taking Nacht serious. They were only playing with him. And as Nacht is about to be killed by Lilith and the Mai, Asta swoops in and saves the day. Asta and Devil Union takes on both Lilith and the Mai, and Nacht is actually happy to see Asta make it in time, although he was late. Nacht tells Asta he doesn't matter and he should go defeat the Dark Triad. And Asta tells Nacht to not say he doesn't matter. It was thanks to him he got stronger, and he wants Nacht to live and witness that strength. Following this, Nacht sees Morgan standing right beside Asta, and that really touched my heart, considering, you know, Asta and Morgan are really alike. Nacht then asks himself, was he hoping a new morning would dawn? He then says, you're both good people, but you're nothing like him, as he smiles. I think this was something Nacht needed to hear, although Asta isn't aware of what happened and what Nacht did was dumb and came with a huge cost which he paid for. Nacht isn't that kind of person anymore. He's a much better person. He came to be the Magic Knight Morgan always wanted him to be like. Even if he can't fight by Morgan's side, he can fight by Asta, who's just like Morgan, and continue to live on trying to be better than he was. Following this, Asta defeats the Twin Devils and he and Nacht go on to assist the others. Before we end the video, I did say I was going to talk about Nacht's philosophy on being right. Throughout the series, we see Nacht saying he likes people who are right, but even though that's the case, not always do those people who are right get rewarded. I believe he's developed this because of Morgan and what happened. Morgan was a good person and amazing Magic Knight, yet he had to be the one to suffer because of Nacht. Morgan was right about being a Magic Knight, he was right about saving others, and he was most definitely right about forbidden magic. Yet he was the one who had to pay the price. He was the one who lost his life. Black Clover often gets criticized a lot, but if you pay attention and enjoy this series, you'll come to realize that there is some good writing in the series. Anyways, I had a ton of fun making this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Definitely subscribe for more awesome Black Clover content. 10 likes and I'll drop a video explaining all of Nacht's devil transformations. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of the video. And yeah, first video of 2022. I wish everyone an awesome year. Let's get it, man. See you guys in the next one.